kamshumoi kare kare zuva kuira pasina mushumoi kumwera mangwana nikakutsvaga mushumoi kare kare kuringezvira kamshumoi uchagare kamwanawe aiwe uchagare kamwanawe aiwe uchagare kamwanawe aiwe uchagare kamwanawe
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to Cocktails and Conversations, hosted by Cultured Republik. Cultured Republik has grown in the last 11 episodes, making this one our 12th episode. So we have been doing this. We've been at it for exactly 1 year today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been so exciting building this community, but for me, it's been more exciting being able to tap into this community. There's so many people I've met here that have taken me through certain aspects of business, or even just my ordinary day-to-day life. So if you're new, welcome, and please talk to somebody that you don't know. Please pass around your business cards. You don't know who's going to take you up the ladder. You don't know who's taking you to the next stage. The global theme this year has been, don't just survive, thrive in 2026. And from the previous episode, those that were here know we spoke about how, and I think the general consensus was that most of us survived 2025. We just got through and got by 2025. So we're not doing that this year. This year, we are thriving. And the truth is, for us to be able to thrive in business, we need to really know the value that our business has, right? And talking of value, we talk of it saying it's psychological. Have you ever seen somebody pitch their idea, how passionate they are about pitching their idea? Have you seen that? And when your vision and when your vision and the value for your business is so clear, your employees, your staff can also actually be as passionate about speaking about this business as you are. So today we have brought here amazing conversation leaders. We have amongst us brand strategists, and they're here to help us unpack the psychology of value. This is in your vision, in your brand, and in your business. But before we get to introducing them and asking them to come up here, I have a few questions of my own. And if you're sitting next to somebody, you can quickly answer my questions to them. First one, am I pricing with confidence or with fear? Do you price your products or your service with confidence or with fear? As I was doing my makeup, getting ready to come here, I asked the same question to my makeup artist, and she said, with fear. She was quick to answer, and I said, okay, why? And she said, because I'm scared if I price too high, people won't come, and if people don't come, I don't have a business. The second question, am I building from clarity or from comparison? Yes? Are we from comparison? Do we look around what our competitors are doing and that's how we are building? And the last question is, am I truly operating at the level of my value? Yes? No? The good news is, like I did say, we have brand strategists amongst us who are going to help us. Hopefully, we walk out of here not being fearful of how we've priced, we walk out of here not comparing ourselves, and we walk out of here knowing how to level up and function at our highest level of value. My name is Leanne Chimbira, and I'm your host today. When I'm not in high heels like I am, I call this high. I know they're not high, but they are high to me because I'm a physiotherapist by training, and I spend my day in Crocs and in sneakers. So yes, this is one of probably the 4 pairs of high-heeled shoes that I have. And I am a wellness entrepreneur. I'm also a very happy wife and a proud mom to 2 boys. They're twins, yes, 2 twin boys. Now that you know a bit about me, I'd like to know a bit about you guys, and hopefully you also know each other a little bit more before we introduce our conversation leaders. So, I've got a question. If your brand was to be described as a cocktail, what it would be and why? We are at Cocktails and Conversations after all, ladies and gentlemen. If your brand was to be described as a cocktail, which cocktail would that be and why? I will go first, and then I'll select the next person. She will speak, or he will speak, and then they'll select the next person. And hopefully by the end of it, we now know what we do and what cocktails we describe ourselves as. So I would say, I'm a bit biased, but anyway, a Long Island iced tea. This is because when you're looking at it, it looks simple, right? It just looks like a lot of Coke, and right at the bottom, something with a white color right at the bottom, right? So we usually, when you look at it, it looks simple. There's nothing interesting. You can't put anything but a lemon, to make it look interesting. Even the glass, Long Island iced teas are normally just in a long glass. And when you hear health, it does sound boring, even I say so. We're usually just in our practices, and I always say this, we're always bored somewhere in a little room, right? And that's health. We're not in anyone's face. We're not like radio DJs. We are not like people in marketing that are out there, and you get to know them, you get to see them, so we are just hidden most of the time. But when you look at us, you think we're just made of one ingredient, right? Like I said, we think a Long Island is just full of Coke. But speaking for myself, I've evolved from physiotherapy to wellness, meaning I have brought together all the 8 dimensions of wellness, which is financial, physical, psychological, religious, to name a few. And today I asked the guys by Denga, guys, quickly tell me, how many shots do you put in a Long Island? And they said 5. Different types of shots, right? And I asked, so how many ingredients? What else? And then they said, in total, everything comes to 8 ingredients. So I believe when you come to our center, we leave a long-lasting image, because you came thinking it's health, we're bored. But then I feel like when you come in and you leave with a long-lasting impression of us. So next, I will select somebody. They will tell us what their organization is about and which cocktail that represents.
And I had to be the first one. Well, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I hope that you're well. My name is Ruvarashe Miti, and I am representing Go Getter Movement. And I believe that some of you already know about it, or you are hearing it for the very first time. Our founder is Trish Hakata, and I'm glad to be representing her today. So cocktail that I would choose, the one that I'm actually having, is a spicy margarita. So I'm just thinking it's tequila. At times you can actually see it in a clear glass or probably a water bottle, and then you can drink it, not knowing the effects after. But as go-getter, we know that we empower women and celebrate excellence. So women come in different, I would like to put it as flowers. Some are roses, some are aloe vera, some are just like any other flower that you might think of. So in terms of doing that, we empower women and we celebrate excellence. And just today, we are celebrating Ru and Leanne. Thank you so much for making sure that this continues with absolute consistency.
Thank you, go-getters. If you didn't know about the go-getter movement and you're female, you are missing out. Who am I selecting for you? Somewhere this side. She said, I can choose again. I will choose somebody new because we want to know new people today.
It has to be her. All right. Good day, people. My name is Tinashe Zaninamo, representing Bars Incorporated. Pardon? Oh, yeah, that makes sense, huh? You want to see me, right? Yeah. I know my voice doesn't match the face. Right. So what I was saying is I'm representing Bars Incorporated. If I was a cocktail, I'd pick a margarita, not the spicy one though. Why? Because it sounds cliche, just like what we do as a company. We're an advertising agency. How many advertising agencies do you know that are out there? A lot, right? Yeah, but we're different in a specific way that we basically bring visions to life. So be it a corporate, be it a personal brand that we're working with, be it any organization or any entity that we're working with, we'll basically represent them to the best of their ability, and we'll bring their vision to life, and using different facets that we then provide as well, which are our services and the products that we serve to our customers. So that's basically that. I don't know if I could describe advertising agency as a margarita in more detail as well. Huh?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And Tinashe, no, it's not cliche. The cake is too big. Everyone can share. I will move over to my Ndebele girls. Namhlanje ngilaba zawami, laba navami. So, yes. Any one of you, Mercy? Both of you will go. Let me start with you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mercy Mabiza. Thembi Bulawayo. It's my first time here, and I'm super excited to actually be here on the 1-year anniversary. So I am a group CEO for a lifestyle brand. We design handbags. Our brand name is called Royal Infinity. I'm also a dermatologist and a cosmetic chemist, and I'm also a sommelier and a winemaker. So with all that in mind, to best describe the Royal Group brand, it would have to be an amaretto sour, which is also my favorite cocktail. When you see it initially, it's just whiskey, a little sour citrus, and an egg white. Blending all those things together takes a lot of talent, which is what we do. Literally selling lifestyle and having all those three things together, it takes a little zeal and a lot of passion. So that's the best cocktail which would describe what we do. So ladies and gentlemen, whichever of the three resonates with you, then you need to have a conversation with me at the end. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you, Mercy. I'm sure Thembi is looking at us and saying, you go, Bulawa, you girl. Anyway, Eve.
Hello everyone, my name is Eve. I am representing Eve Glam. I am a beautician and a professional makeup artist. I recently moved from Bulawayo, beginning of the year. And if I were to describe my business as a cocktail, I think it would be a cosmopolitan because it is such a colorful drink and it has a little kick to it and it exudes confidence, which is what I bring to my society. So if any of you ladies are interested in makeup advice, and makeup tutorials, I am here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, men do put on makeup too, and there's no judgment here. It's okay. We also want you to look good. And Eve, who can I pass this microphone to? Down there. Okay, I'll pass it on to my sister that I met. I found in Harare and she took me under her wing. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. If I were, hello. If I were to be a cocktail in terms of what I do, I'll be sex on the beach. The energy, you do not know what it means to be running events. The energy, bringing people together, keeping people entertained, flirting. You know those jokes where you think, it's going that direction, and then it'll be like, but you know where I was going. Thank you.
If you didn't know her, that is my juju. She's an MC. If you have an event coming up, you know she's going to bring the jokes, right? Right, this corner is avoiding me and avoiding eye contact. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Can you talk to us?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
My name is Wallace.
Okay.
Oh, I have to look at the crowd.
Please do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wallace. It's my first time.
Welcome, Wallace.
Yeah, thank you. What was your question?
If your brand was a cocktail. This is clearly the naughty corner, right? If you could describe your brand in a cocktail, what cocktail would it be and why?
Well, I don't drink any cocktails.
Oh.
Yeah, but
The beer?
yes, I think I'll be a Budweiser
A Budweiser.
Yes.
Okay, why?
because it's nice and smooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep him in the naughty corner, but let me move on to this gentleman in suits. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
If I'm being honest, I'd only come here for a drink. I didn't know there's an event going on.
Okay.
But
Now that you're here.
yeah, I can try and say something. So, so recently I've actually been trying to open like a travel agency, and you know when you're only starting and you don't really have like an idea about how to go forward. But one thing I've been really striving for is consistency. So the cocktail I can describe it as is like a pina colada. Because with a pina colada, no matter where you go, it's the same pineapple taste. So that's what I'm striving towards. So if anyone has ideas to do with travel agencies, you can help me because I'm actually lost. But
Okay.
thank you.
Sorry, and you are?
My name is Vegazela.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vegazela, you're welcome to Cocktails and Conversations. We do hope you will sign up and join this amazing community because, I mean, you've already tapped into it. I'm sure we do have some travel agents here that will assist you. Gary. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. So my name is Garai Nesu. I just got here, but I think the question is to do with cocktails, right?
Yes.
So if I was to describe myself as a cocktail, I would say the least popular one actually is the Negroni. The reason why I'm choosing that, despite being unpopular, it holds a lot of substance. So at times, being popular doesn't pay, but your results speak for you. So I think that is what's most important about being a person, from whatever background you are from wherever situation you've been in, what matters at the end of the day is what you produce. So yeah, that's why I chose a Negroni as my cocktail of choice.
Oh, thank you. A Negroni is definitely not popular. All right, I'll take 2 more and then we move on to our next segment. Don't worry. I know everyone is avoiding me. Sorry, ma'am. Please pass this microphone to the gentleman next to you in black.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tadiwa. And like the gentleman who didn't answer the question, I also don't drink cocktails. I'm a beer and whiskey guy. So I think that describes me. I'm a straight shooter. I come from a world where I'm into business transformation and operations, and how I go about things is just being a straight shooter, and that's why I like my whiskey on the rocks and all my beer. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing? You guys good? Fantastic. My name is Percy Magai, and I think the cocktail, I would say, is going to be a bit weird, but it's an old-fashioned. Old-fashioned because I've moved from, of course, the UK into Zim, and I've gone into agriculture. I'm a farmer now, and I feel like the farm is teaching me the olden ways. You know, ivu nderelu, mune mari mu ivu. So I'm learning a lot, and I think that cocktail really describes that money is old, but money can be new too. Yeah, so I'm learning about agriculture a lot more, and I'm seeing the dollar signs, and I think let's get into agriculture as individuals. If you've got a land or something, if you want to get into land or into farming, talk to me, because we still got some land that we're not farming on yet, so if you need land. But anyways, yeah, old money, let's make it new money. Yeah? All right, so old-fashioned for me.
Thank you. Apparently, I was unfair to this corner, so I'm back. Hello. And obviously, I'm coming after the new faces. Oh, thank you. You are such a gentleman. He volunteered himself. Please, cocktails and conversations, do something for this gentleman.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Everson, and I run a food and beverage service company. So we do catering for all sorts of events, private, intimate dinners, birthdays, anything to do with food, because we know any function that doesn't have food doesn't make sense. So to describe the business, I would describe it as one of the favorite cocktails that I usually make by myself. It's a watermelon daiquiri. Love the rum, spice gold, and some nice honey and syrup there. It's simple, just 3 ingredients, and you have a very delicious drink there. So for anyone who will be looking for private chefs or catering hiring, just give me a call, or we can swap business cards. And for the people that are here, there'll be a discounted rate. And I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying it, but yeah, there will be a discounted rate for you. Thanks.
Sorry, you are?
Everson.
From which?
Mange.
Mange.
Yes. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
The company name is Mange. It was initially Manger, but upon first sight, everyone kept on saying Mange. So I was just like, you know what, who am I to fight it? Let me just go with it. So it's Mange_ZW. Thanks.
Did you get that, guys? Everybody here, courtesy of Mange, you will get a discount upon your first order at his food and beverage catering services. Okay. Whew. We are taking a 5-minute networking break to fill up those glasses. Don't forget to order food, those that want to order something. If you have a sprained neck, back pain, or, injured ankle, Leanne is also here to talk to you. All right, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. I'm enjoying this. I'm loving this, the energy. I see big deals happening in front of me right here. Please do take your seats. We are about to start. Please take your seats. We are about to start. I hate to be a party pooper. All right. Okay. We're moving on with our program, and we are welcoming our first conversation leader. Here at Cultured Republik, we do not call them speakers. They are contributing to a conversation that we are all a part of. And when they are done speaking, everybody is allowed to ask questions, give opinions, add-ons. So our first conversation leader is Kelvin Majora, who is a Zimbabwean health and occupational safety professional focused on advancing workplace health systems and innovative healthcare financing solutions. He is a co-founder of Utano Africa Private Limited, a company involved in bringing several innovations into Zimbabwe. He is involved in developing occupational health services aligned with national regulatory frameworks and has worked on initiatives that integrate the medical technology, risk assessment, and preventative health programs for high-risk industries such as mining and agriculture. Kelvin is also engaged in healthcare innovation through projects like medical microfinance models that aim to improve access to quality healthcare by linking providers, insurers, and financial institutions. His work is driven by a commitment to strengthening sustainable, practical health solutions for industry and communities across Zimbabwe. The next frontier that he has embarked on is occupational health, psychomotor psychometrics for companies and drivers. Please help me welcome Mr. Kelvin Majora.
Thank you. Thank you very much for my LinkedIn profile. So just to dial it down, Utano Africa is a healthcare company. For those who drink, sorry, I'm the guy that's responsible for your breathalyzers, amongst other innovations that are coming in lately. So yeah, then one of the things that we do is occupational health, where we look at people from works, the NASA, etc., the regulatory frameworks. And then partly I'm involved into wood, timber. Then my background is in finance, so personally I have no business being in medical, timber and things, but this is why we speak about the topic, which is the, so the topic that I was given was the understanding the psychology of value, your vision, your brand, your business. So basically what I would want to ask you, being a rebel that I am, I decided to make my own topic in my own way. But basically what I would like to first ask you is, what makes a bottle of water cost 50 cents somewhere, $1 somewhere, and $3 at a certain place? What makes it that? But for me, because I'm a rebel, I decided to focus on the individual. So today I'm not going to go on the academic side, which I could have gone and talked about the placement, things like that, because I believe that you guys already know that. So as an entrepreneur, I want to talk about my experience and how I view things. And as a rebel, I felt like I should just rebel, which is a normal thing for me. So one of the most critical person is, I would ask you, what makes someone get into a room and get value? What is it? What's the difference between you and the person who makes $1 million? What is it about you that is different from everyone else? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. I'm not different. You're the same bottle of 500 milliliters that's being sold for 50 cents, while one of them is being sold for $3. So one of the things that I would like to focus on the psychology is I believe that right now, as this generation, we are too educated for our own good. If I ask you, many of you have got business ideas, brilliant. Why have you not presented that business idea to the minister who you're supposed to present it to? Why is it? I've gone in places where I've not been known. I've knocked at the door for the president's office and they've let me enter and presented my things because I knocked. The psychology is, if I don't know something, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna be the best. So the value, core value of why water is sold for $3, the same water is sold for $50, is it's sold as the best water because of the person who sells it. So how do you sell yourself as the best person? Why can't you enter and knock some rooms? They're not going to make tables for you. Unfortunately, for most of you guys, you're like me. When we grow up, unfortunately, our parents were not properly networked and things like that, so we have to make our own parachutes. So me telling you about my background in terms of me being a finance person and now being on healthcare is to actually tell you that one of the things that I understand is I can figure anything and everything I need to figure because God placed it in my mind. So can you. So that's one of the challenges, is what is stopping you from doing where you are coming from? And most of you fear rejection. And one of my challenge that I came to give you guys, in business, one of the things that we know in psychology is a person will say no 14 times on average before they say yes. And most of you only ask a person for something that you want for two times. And most of you are done. So you've got 12 more times to go before you get the yes. So one of the most important things is we have got what we call cognitive dissonance and imposter syndrome. Most of us feel we don't belong. I don't belong in health. But when you see me talking to a doctor, I will learn what I need to learn. So the question becomes to you guys, are you an expert in something that you have chosen? Is there something that people will come to you, only you, for value because you've got something of value to offer? If not, you're playing. My breathalyzer became chosen not because I knew about breathalyzers, I didn't. But I figured, okay, we need a breathalyzer. I researched, I did work. I'm something like obsessive. I've got compulsive obsessive behavior. So I've got to get something working until I get it, which is what you guys are as entrepreneurs. You figure out how to make a parachute on your way down after jumping a building. So for most of you, you're not figuring, you're folding your arms. Right. How many people do you guys, so when I'm calling, sometimes I call the industry leaders and my heart beats. I did a cold call to Mkoma Simba. We now talk to each other. He's here. He'll tell you. Cold call from nowhere. I want to talk to you. This is what I have, and you present, practice your 3-minute pitch to make sure that within 1 minute, and also be prepared that some people will cut off the phone on you. I've got many people that cut the phone on me. It's not that I'm immune to criticism and things like that or feeling rejected. I do feel, but what I do is from that time, I also pick myself up. So the question that I'm having is dust yourself up. You guys, I'm not going to talk about the plans. You guys, most probably by being here, you read most of the books, you know what you're supposed to do. You've got the perfect plans. What I'm now telling you is it's the act of doing. I'm not going to tell you to do things consistently because that's hogwash. Why do I say it's hogwash? I believe that consistency in itself is hogwash as long as it's not evaluated consistency. What do I mean by evaluated consistency? If I'm going to call 50 people, I have to see what's working, what's not working. Do I need to change anything? do I need to go? So I'm going to say this: evaluated consistency is the key. My question to you is, what are you supposed to be doing daily? For me, my target is to call 3 people. And every week I have to call one person that I am scared to call. I'll say that again. Every week I have to call one person that makes me feel scared to call. It's either someone who's big or who's famous, who's got something that I want, who doesn't know me, but I'm too scared to call. So I have to call them. So that's my frog. What is yours? Are you doing it consistently? When people give you the opportunity to enter the door, can people say that you can give them something of value that's a perfect product? Because entering doors is the simplest thing. But one of the most key thing is being able to deliver something of value. Then secondly, all of us, I usually say this, and this is true for, I think, everyone. I would like to say I'm 3 steps away from talking to the president. For me personally, I've tested this, I'm actually 3 steps away. I know 3 people that can get me to talk to the president if I wanted to. So the question is, it's not that I'm boasting, but the question is, who do you want to talk to who can be introduced to by someone who can give you the credibility? But most importantly, is that person, can they introduce you because, and not be afraid that they'll be disgraced by your behavior? That's a very important question. So you guys have to look at yourself. Do I still have time to go on? Okay, cool. So yeah, so those are important questions that then in building, I like, since I say that I'm a rebel, I like building new things. One of the things that they came with is what they were talking about, which is the Vienna testing system, which is a platform that can predict accidents and say this. So one of the things is, which I believe is coming at the right time. We've got many accidents, many minds are using them and things like that. We're getting precedent, we're getting good feedback. But one of the questions is, do you have a pulse? One of the things that was asked is, are you a follow me too? Or do you have your pulse on the figure to see, you know what, things are changing. This is what they're saying. So if things are changing, maybe for the next 2 years, I don't know how long that will take us to make it a common figure in Zimbabwe, but we're now starting to have traction. So while you're doing something that's important, that's at a higher level, are you paying rent? Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, one of the problems that you have is you chase the big idea forgetting that rent has to be paid. The rent can be the boring things that you do every day that gets you money to pay the rent. So be careful of chasing the big idea without being able to pay rent. Cash flow is important in terms of any business. You have to pay your rent, you have to pay your workers, you have to pay yourself. So be careful whilst you're doing that. Yeah. Then there was a question that I was pricing with confidence and fear. You can only be able to price with confidence if you're an expert. There are things that I only can do, and I can tell people, you know what, you can go. It is okay, you can go. And they go where they want to go and they'll come back because I'm an expert in my field. So when I was selling a thing as simple as we had a pregnancy test that we were selling. It's one of the only ones still in the market that can detect pregnancy in 5 days. We have an HIV test that can predict in 14 days, but I had to research, and I'm not a doctor. So I became engrossed in the conversation, such to an extent that when I was speaking to the pharmacist, I could tell the signs of why that pregnancy test could detect in 5 days. Can you speak to the leader, to someone who's a leader in what you're doing, and be able to hold a conversation and defend your project? If you can't, we're playing. So the psychology of success becomes on you wanting to be successful first. You knowing that rejection is part of the journey, failure is part of the journey, but you every day waking up and doing the things that you're supposed to do because you've got a destiny to arrive. Thank you.
Wow.
I wish you could go on and on and on. I'd listen to you all day. Thank you for that powerful deliverance. These people are very, I would like to say they are hungry. They're hungry to make it. I speak to them, some of them, most of them, and they're here because, they're hungry to make it, So, can we give them the opportunity to give us opinions?
Yeah.
Ask questions?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. The floor is open for questions, opinions. Anyone? Yes? Here we go. Thank you.
I'm going to open the floor with an icebreaker. Congratulations on the 5-day pregnancy test. I think if you did it in 3, you could save a lot of unwanted pregnancies. So there is some research for you to do. I suppose the question I have for you is, you've clearly stated that you talk to a lot of people. You, in fact, one of your stated objectives is to call at least 3 people per week, which one scary per week and 3 per day, if I got you right, which means you are speaking to just over 1,000 people every year that are new, which means your failure rate must also be very high because most of those people are not going to say yes, right? How do you get over rejection? What are your strategies for getting over rejection? Because I think a lot of people face that in their lives.
Thank you. That was Mr. Simba Chiemba. Thank you for joining us. He was a conversation leader at one of our episodes last year. Thank you.
So one of the things is also dissociating myself from the rejection. That's the first thing. Then secondly is reading. Understanding the psychology of people. So, which you have to, if you want to sell, you have to be able to read and you have to understand that rejection is part of selling. And to also to understand that most times, 14 times before a person says no, they're going to say no for 14 times, but it's to figure out how to keep the conversation going for those 14 times. So that was the learning platform that, you know what, a no from you is not a no. It just means that I've come to you maybe at the wrong time, maybe I've come to you the wrong way. So I've got to figure out the right way. I've got to figure out if there's anyone in my circle who knows you and things like that, especially if you're important to me. So that is one of the things. And then also categorizing the people that I want to speak with. So I'm forgetting what you call that, not important, important, and things like that. Thank you very much. So it's to categorize people that will make the most impact to me. So the people that will make the most impact to me, even if they say no, I'll spend a little time figuring out how can I make another conversation with them. Then there are other people that, you know what, I'm like, if I call, I'm like, yeah, this one ticked on because I didn't think that. But sometimes what tends to happen is the people that you expect to say yes and to get you will not be the ones, and the ones that you thought were going to say no will surprise you by giving you what you want. Yeah.
Good evening. Next question. We'll take the last question. All right.
Thank you. Hello, Kelvin. Sorry I wasn't here when you had your presentation, but I do thank you for being here. You just so happen to be in my industry. But I wanted to find out what motivates you, other than the bottom line. How many things you get wrong with the families, with friends, and then your project, because you do have to have another life as a business person, don't you?
So as a company, we've decided that we need to be able to fail. but we need to evaluate our failures. What do I mean? We introduce a lot of ideas. In-house, we say this might work, maybe this one is wrong. In-house, we take it out, and then we test it. Who was it? There was one of a speaker, a motivational speaker, who had a concept what they call falling forward fast principle, which means that you need to be able to get feedback of what's going to work from either your market or from either the... So you remember that I was saying that I know a lot of people. So if I've got something, sometimes I go to people and I ask the experts, and will this work? And sometimes I disagree with the experts, which is totally fine, because there's a reason why they say that Jesus did not take his disciples from the Pharisees because they were too biblical. He needed people who could be able to see. So sometimes the experts might be wrong. So you also have to have a conviction of what you do. So that's one of the things, the conviction, your team, your faith. My faith plays a key role in everything that I believe, because I'm a Christian. I believe that God opens the way and God gives me ideas. So everything that I do is not because I'm the most critical thinker, the best person or whatever. It is that just because God gives me the ideas to implement it in a specific way. Yeah.
Hi, Kelvin. I've got a question, but it's a tricky one, because I want you to imagine you're a woman. And with the 14 no's that you're talking about, and you're trying to do business with a man, how do you manage that dynamic where you are now in this vulnerable place where you keep going back and you're getting these no's, and the environment that we're in makes you, leaves you in a tricky place? How can you manage that dynamic?
Okay, thank you. So, in our industry, in healthcare and in everywhere, we deal with a lot of women. Women are the majority of our population in this country. So one of the things is that as a person, you have to have what we call professional boundaries. There are things that you can smile, make jokes about, and when people, you have to have what we call a red line. Your red line should be simply, you know what, yes, we can do this, but this we can't. So your red lines should be clear. And be prepared to walk away. It's not everything that's worth your dignity and worth you. So be prepared to walk away. Like I told you, I would be helped by the fact that I'm a Christian. I believe that if something like that was to happen and the door closes, God has got a better door for me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Majora. He is here until the end, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and he said he's got an office, open door office policy, so we can walk into your office. Thank you for that. And I impose. Sorry? Huh? And if you have any more questions, like I said, he's still here. We have to go on with our program. Today, at this episode, we do have a conversation spotlight. So she's coming between our two conversation leaders, and she is Ambassador Dr. Chanita Foster, who is a global leader in social change, entrepreneurship, and philanthropy. She is the founder of Rockstar Global Investments, where she has led high-impact projects across real estate, technology, and transportation, securing over 100 million for clients that include presidents, diplomats, and global institutions. She also serves as International Brand Ambassador of Tourism for Zimbabwe and is the founder of Beyond the Game, a non-profit transforming communities across Africa through education, water access, food security, and women-focused initiatives. A best-selling author and leading mental health advocate, Dr. Foster is the recipient of the United Nations Global Award and the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Ambassador Dr. Chanita Foster. How much time? 5 minutes? Good afternoon. Hi, guys. Good afternoon. Okay, you have to give me high energy, high impact. So last time, good afternoon. Thank you. Okay, so like she said, my name is Ambassador Dr. Chanita Foster. I'm super excited to be here. I actually came in the country for something else, and then I end up staying a little longer to talk about my book, Pivot. But I want to tell you about the journey of how I got to Pivot. So in about 2014-15, living my best life. Y'all say best life? I'm thinking everything is going great. And I found myself on the bathroom floor with a gun to my head, ready to end it all. I'm a suicide survivor. Now, when you look at me, you think, okay, everything is perfect. I did everything right. Forget the accent, I'm an African child. But I grew up in America. But literally, I did everything right. Go to school, get good grades, graduate, have some kids. No, let me do it in the right order. Don't have sex, get married. I wouldn't advise that to anybody. I'm just giving y'all a side note. Don't have sex, then get married, have some kids, and then life was gonna end up perfect. But life wasn't perfect. Had the house, had the cars, traveled on private jets, met any and everybody that you can think of in this world. There's no one that someone can probably name in this room that I haven't met. And that's not a brag or a flex, but it's the truth. So why did I want to die? Why didn't I want to be here anymore? And so for the sake of 5 minutes, I can tell you really quickly. The answer was simple. When you lose your why, you lose your way. And so what happened was I lost my why. And so for me, my why is service. My why is giving. But at the time, my ex-husband, who was well off, allowed me to give away all the money I wanted to. So I'm the person, I really gave away like in one lump sum, $3.5 million, okay? So in his mind, in order to reel me back, you can't walk in purpose anymore. You can't give to people. You can't build schools. You can't build water projects. That was breaking me, right? Because that was my why. So once I was broken all the way down to my lowest, how I got back up was I realized it goes in this order: peace, purpose, paid. If you master your peace and you understand your purpose, you'll always get paid. But everybody does it backwards. If I get paid, it's gonna give me peace, and then I'm gonna go find my purpose. Life doesn't work that way. Because if life worked that way, why are there so many people that committed suicide? We had someone in the US that committed suicide. The lady was worth like $350 million. How do you kill yourself and you worth $350 million? People will say, but what's wrong? Because you have access to have everything that you want. But here's the issue. Out of alignment, out of purpose, out of peace. So I started a program and I said, okay, let me teach people how to master their peace. Because once they have their peace, then I'm gonna help them find their purpose. Then once you get to your purpose, you're always gonna make money. Well, guess what? Life hit again. I married so young, now I'm getting a divorce. I'm stuck. I don't know how to be anything other than a wife at this point. So guess what I had to do? Peace, purpose, paid, pivot. I'm standing here because of pivot. So in every book I wrote, my first book was called Girl, I'm Not Tripping, I'm Depressed. That whole book turned into a bestseller. Y'all laughing, right? Oh, let me take you on a journey. So the reason why I was Girl, I'm Not Tripping, I'm Depressed, because in Detroit, they have this word called tripping. And all of my friends kept saying, girl, you tripping. Girl, you tripping. But I was depressed. So I wasn't just acting out of character, I was depressed. But I wrote that book because I needed that book to be what I needed when I was depressed. So you fast forward, the book that I wrote, Pivot, was because I was trying to figure out how to pivot.
How do you pivot in life? How do you shift after a divorce? How do you shift when your kids leave? I look older than what I am. I have grown children. How do you shift when your children now leave the nest and you become an empty nester? How do you shift through that divorce? How do you shift through that job change? So it all came down to being able to pivot. So I wrote an entire book to break down how do you transition and pivot in those moments? Because oftentimes, many of us know that we have to change, we need to change, but we don't want to change. And so when that happens, you find yourself stuck. It's almost like if you ever read the book, anybody read Who Moved My Cheese? You read that book, Him and Haw? Like you knew the food was gonna run out. You knew at some point it wasn't gonna be there, but yet you kept going to the same place over and over and over again. But you saw that it wasn't gonna be there. So if you don't pivot or you don't prepare to pivot, then life will pivot for you. And then that's what ends up happening to a lot of us. So I'm happy to be here. Did I stay in 5 minutes? I did good. I got a couple more minutes. Okay, so I love staying the time because I'm one of those people, I have ADD. Sometimes people be talking for an hour. I'll be like, are you done yet? So once you get to the place where you understand how to pivot, why you need to pivot, that's when life takes you into the actual journey where you need to be. So I'm actually really done because I kind of timed myself. So literally, peace, purpose, paid, and then peace, purpose, paid. Oh, you guys are a rough crowd. What is up with Zimbabwe? Yo, do I got to give out something free? Yes. Yeah, she said yes. Okay. Okay, let me see if y'all gonna get loud. I got some books. Let me give away some free books. Look, y'all like yes. Okay. Peace, purpose, paid. Yes. I knew y'all were some free people. Free is for me. Boy, you tell people you're gonna give them something free, the whole thing changes. Okay, so I'll give away a free book. I can give away some free books, right? To maybe the first couple of people that ask a question, and I'll give it to them.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador Dr. Chanita Foster. Thank you. We wish we could have you at our next episode, actually, which, March is Women's Month. Yes, and we always celebrate women as Cultured Republik. There's a lot of organizations that represent women that are in this place today. To name a few, we've got the Go-Getter movement. They also represent women. We've got the female CEO. So all the female CEOs are also represented in that. So when we see you, we're happy we can relate. So, questions, because we have books. All right, here we go. The ladies are asking.
Hello, Queen. Okay, congratulations for living another life for us to be learning what we're going to learn from you tonight, and what we've already learned from you tonight. Thank you for coming back. I have a song in Shona that's exactly what you have described in a song. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. My question is, how did you keep your professionalism or the clean side of you when you were having a hard time?
Which side? Did you say the king's side?
You got that?
How did I keep my professionalism? That was the question. How did I keep my privilege? I didn't. I didn't. I'm just being honest. I had a lot of bad moments in life, okay? I have a lot of regrettable moments in life, okay? But I do believe that time in life is your greatest teacher, right? And I think the thing for me is I'm always honest and I'm always authentic. And I think that's what also saved me too. Mastering my peace was always living in my truth. And so I stopped living a lie. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If it's ugly, it's ugly. If we're not doing it, we're not doing it. Why are you laughing? I'm so serious. I had to turn into that person because I'm messing up my own peace by trying to be this fake person. So you're talking about hold it together, I'm going to lose it in front of everybody. So it helped me to be honest and transparent. It helped me, if I'm in a meeting, to no longer have a bad morning with my children and now try to go on and put a fake face, right? Me, I walk in the door letting you know, listen, all my kids acted a fool this morning. It was rough. I couldn't get in the car on time. So before we start this meeting, I'm just letting you know that you might get a little overflow of what happened at 8 a.m. Guess what? The same way you're sitting here laughing, I was giving grace and mercy. Because if not, I would have just been going off in the meeting and they're like, what's wrong with this crazy lady? But I walked in and I told you. So now I didn't hide what I was upset about. Now, some people say that's a gift and a curse because you leave personal at home when it comes to business. But I think once you get to a high level in business, business becomes personal. So how am I supposed to leave personal out of business? Because they go together. So let me just be transparent about what it is that I'm going through, what might not affect you, so we can work our way through this meeting so you won't think I'm crazy when I leave.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, she gets the book, yeah.
Yes.
Some different people tell
Okay,
you just
I just-
got off the floor. You just got off the floor.
Just the questions. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think you may have missed a bit of what our first conversation leader spoke on. But anyway, he's Kelvin Majora. He also has a question.
So I think how did you confirm your purpose that you have? What was it for you? Because I think for me and a lot of people that I know, we struggle to confirm that, is this really the purpose that God gave me or whatever? Is this really the thing that I'm supposed to be here for? How did you confirm that?
I tell people I believe, I don't know if it's true, but maybe you can try it. Confirming your purpose is that thing you do, the thing you think about that brings you the most peace, the most happiness, but it comes without strife. And oftentimes people are trying to look for, I said this on the radio, shout out to Miss Red yesterday, I was on the radio. I said, people want this big bang. They want, oh, my purpose has to be this big grand old thing. That's not true. Many of us were birthed into things that we're missing because we're looking for the big thing. Some of us really were birthed to be a great mom. There's nothing wrong with being a great mom or a great wife. Like, who wrote these rules? There are really women who were put on this earth to raise the next president, to raise the next engineer, to raise the next doctor. That might be your purpose. I tell my friends all the time, some of my friends are some of the most amazing moms that I met in the entire world. And I'm like, that is your purpose. This is what God put you here for, because that child that you birthed has a destiny that's bigger than what you can believe, right? So when you're trying to search and look for the purpose, start looking for that thing that brings you peace, whatever it is. And it could be something silly. I tell people all the time, they're like, no, but I really like waking up and gardening. Maybe you should be a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's bigger than just your garden. Maybe you're supposed to do a whole entire farm. Maybe you're supposed to, provide the food source for the whole country. But you're missing it because you're like, I just like to garden on the weekend. But if gardening on the weekend is now your piece and now you start doing it and then you're happy and then you do it more. And then you're like, okay, maybe I can sell the things that are in my garden. And then now you start selling it to somebody else. And then now it transforms into a business. And then you really write the business proposal. Now the thing that you just did on Saturday walks you uniquely into what you were supposed to be doing in the first place. And it's hard because a lot of us are in survival mode. Even for me, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth, even though it looked like it. It was rough, right? Oh yeah, it looked like it. I tell people, I was like, it looked like it. I tell my kids, when you see my kids, they look broke. Just know I'm wearing all the money, okay? Why y'all laughing? Side note, let me help y'all parents out, okay? I'm giving this one away for free. Why do y'all let y'all kids look better than y'all? I'm confused. I'm the one that gotta go to work. I'm the one that gotta talk to people. I'm the one that have to make the money. Why do you look better than me? It doesn't make sense. I'm telling you. So I tell my kids, I will always look better than you. I will always spend more money on me than on you. All you gotta do is go to school and get good grades. Me, I gotta go talk to people. I need nice wigs. I need makeup. I need hair. Some of y'all are sacrificing in the wrong areas. If your children look better than you, I need you to go home and rethink the system, okay? I'm telling you, y'all be buying y'all kids more stuff on Christmas. I get more gifts in the house than everybody on Christmas. I want new pots. I want new windows. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, why do How y'all receive more than me? I work more than you. I just gave y'all that one for free. Stop letting y'all kids look better than y'all. Like, just, that's a bad one. Anybody I see and their kids look better than them, I be like, excuse me, man, let me talk to you. Because you bought him some new shoes and you need to get your hair done, right? Because you got to go to work on Monday and you need to look your best. And this person is going to play on the playground in brand new shoes. And you going to the office with a bad wig.
Oh, wow. Okay. This one.
Okay, bye.
Let me just allow you to give out those 2 books. Okay, Rubiba would just like to give out 2 books to there's 2 people that arrived early because the flyer said if you arrive early and they wanted to know more about pivoting. While she gives those out, this corner here is...
Hi, how are you? I'm here, darling. How are you doing? Hey, how you doing? I see you. So you touched on something, divorce. You spoke on that. I've been divorced myself, right? And I'm a pastor's kid. And divorcing that, and my dad being a big pastor, you know? Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. I think this will be a question and a question and a question. You can answer whatever you want to answer. So, when you divorced, what was the moment you felt like I'm ready to bounce back? Because it took me 3 months. I remember staying in my house for 3 months. I couldn't face the world. Because being a pastor's kid, there was a lot of ridicule. I can't believe she left him. I can't believe she's doing that. And da-da-da. So I remember 3 months of my life was just in my room. I couldn't leave the house. And I had dreams, I had vision, I knew what I wanted to do, but I couldn't do that. And then when I came out to the world, I'm telling my story. Of course, people are like, oh my God, you're being brave, you're da-da-da. Then I'm doing something with what I've been through. And now people are coming to me like, hey, can you help us? Can you teach us? Can you be more? But I'm like, I don't know, like, my question is in a question, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I want to understand your journey, if you don't mind sharing, because I feel like there are a lot of people that have been broken. Maybe it's divorce, maybe it's something, but there's been brokenness in the pursuing of the becoming. How did you become in the brokenness?
All right, so Ambassador, I'm gonna get one more question and then you can answer. Yes. So right here with me is Gamu. She is part of the Female CEO organization and she has a question for you.
Thank you. So firstly, you carry yourself very well and you wear so many hats gracefully. I'm so inspired. And my question is, how do you intentionally balance all the roles, being an ambassador, a philanthropist, author, a queen, a mother, and everything that you are? Thank you.
Okay. I'll do that one first. That one's loaded. Okay. So the first one, she said, how do you balance it all? There is no balance. So what I did was, for me, is I created the WIN formula. The WIN formula is what's important now. Everything can't be important all at the same time. My kids can't be important. Doing global business can't be important. My trucking business can't be important. So I put things in categories. And actually, for my children and my ex-husband at the time, it was an extreme conversation. My kids are not always important. They couldn't be important. In order for me to be who I am, there were moments where I was all about my kids, right? Because in the beginning, stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife, my kids were homeschooled for the longest time until after COVID, my kids were homeschooled. That's another story. So what I had to realize is everything can't be important because a confused mind does nothing. You'll wake up and you'll never accomplish anything because you're trying to do this. Oh, but I got to do this for the kids. But oh, I have to do this for my business. Oh, I have to go over here to the United Nations. Everything is not important to me at the same time. So I have seasons of moments of what's important. All of my friends know I have a friend season. There's a time and a place for my friends. I'm not your friend every day, all day. I don't have time to be a friend every day. So some of my friends know if we're friends, I'm not talking to you every day. I'm not gossiping every day. I can't catch up every day. I can't like every picture on Instagram. But when it's time for us to have that girls trip, for us to hang out and to be together, you get all of me. You get all of my time. For my children, I can't be present all the time. So let's have a conversation. What's important to you? You want me to be at a volleyball game? You need me to show up at a cheer competition? Let's talk about what's important, because everything is not important. I don't have to go to every school meeting, because then I want to beat up all the teachers and all the parents, and I don't like people. I don't like going to the school. Let me know when I need to be at the school, right? I'm being honest. I don't know how y'all deal with parents. Whoosh. I don't want to even be friends with none of the parents. I don't want to know what's going on. Matter of fact, don't even put me in a parents group. I have a rule. Do not put me in a group. I don't want to know what's going on. So to answer your question, what's important now? Structure it out on what's important. And then have the conversations with people that you love and care about. You have a conversation with my mate. I'm on the grind. I'm trying to hit $500,000. I want to have sex with you every day. I don't want to go on a date every day. I don't want to talk to you every day. This is what I'm on right now. I'm going to get back to you. Plan a trip. I'm going to be done right around July. I will give you all of me and everything that you need. But right now, this is what's important now. So that's your question. This one, oh, thank you. Don't answer hers, because you're the one who made me take 2 questions. See, you made me remember 2 questions. The divorce one, you said, how did I know? How did I get out of? I tell people all the time, you were divorced before you were divorced. That's number 1. You just had to get over the shame part, which I think all of us did. I was the same way. I told you, girl, didn't I tell you I was a good girl? I should have did that thing. I should have been wilding outside first, okay? I should have did all the wilding and then got married, right? But I had to experience one person and experience everything with that person. So the first thing was overcoming the shame, right? But then you said, how did I know when it was time to bounce back? It was my pivot moment and saying that I was able to rebirth myself. I was able to get on my face, talk to God, and said, okay, it's time to reset. What can I do? What do I need to do? What do I want to do? Because oftentimes when we're married, I don't know what these men talk about. We sacrifice a lot. We give up a whole lot of ourselves. You got to read my other book. You become his wife, their mom. Like, you don't even have a name no more when you get married. They be like, oh, that's his wife. I'm like, you know I have a name, right? Like, I have college degrees. You go to the school. Oh, that's Jordan's mom. I'm like, you know I got a name, right? Like, I'm an actual person. So becoming a wife, sometimes you lose everything about yourself. But what I realized in divorce is everything that I was lost, I was able to find. And now, when it's time for me to do it all over again, I know how to understand me and do the things I love and care about for me, and then be something for someone else. For many of us, when you get married young, we just know how to be what they need us to be. We don't know how to be what we need to be. So I tell people all the time, divorce is a cheat code. I'm not against, divorce. And I had to break the generational curse. I didn't want to be the person who stayed with my mate just for the sake of saying I was married. Why we married? We don't even like each other. No, I'm serious. For the sake of culture, for the sake of the world, for the sake of what people may think. There's a lot of people that's together that's not even together. So why are we together? So it was easier to say, hey, my conversation was easy with my ex. I said, just let me go. Like, I know you're going to go marry a school teacher. You're going to go marry somebody that work at the bank. I knew it. I knew the kind of woman this man was going to get, and it wasn't me, okay? So I was like, let you go find what's going to make you happy before we don't like each other, before we disrespect each other. Because when you get to that point, you have to have another type of healing. But I advise you, if you're happily divorced, there's a lot of people that need your story, or they need that coaching, or they need to know what to do in that transition because they're there and they don't know what to do.
Wow. They are waving. They're like, Leanne, And guys, okay, one more question. Huh? They say they don't have books in this corner. This is the naughty corner. Next time. Okay. Ambassador, just a quick question from this corner. We have people that want to buy the books. So where do you have any available right now? And how much?
How much is the book? Oh, she said $20.
It's $20, those that want to buy the book, but we have one more question.
Thank you so much for allowing me to ask this question. Hi, my name is Kudzai. Thank you for your talk. There's something I noticed very quickly. I think you were given about 10, 15 minutes to speak. And in that, and I think everyone here can agree, in that 10, 15 minutes, you were very captivating. I don't think you used the word or stumbled. So my question to you, and I think it's important for everyone here who is an entrepreneur and is presenting themselves, I feel I'm inspired. You presented yourself very well. How did you hone in that presentation skill? And when pivoting, I know people sometimes are resistant to change. How did you manage the resistance to change?
Did you get that?
I got it. I'm going backwards forward. You said the last part was, how did I manage to change? I didn't want to be broke. The resistance to change, I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to not have the things that I wanted in life. I watched a lot of people crash and burn. And like I said, I used who moved my cheese, that if I kept staying in the same place, doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm not getting results, that at some point I'm gonna crash and burn. Me, I can recognize something so quickly when it's not gonna work. I pivot so quick. People are like, but you didn't give it time, but you didn't take a chance. Let me tell you something. Sorry. Did it die? 1, 2, it's gone. Oh, hello? Okay. I'm the person, I don't play to lose. So some of my friends are like, but sometimes you can play the game because if you think you're good, you can win. No. If I recognize I can lose, I'm out. I don't take chances. So for me, no, at all. I don't take chances. If I think it's not gonna work, I'm losing. Somebody's like, but what if you win? But what if I don't? And I don't like the don't more than winning, so let me just bow out gracefully. So that's being honest and authentic with yourself. And it has to be something that you're willing to lose, something that's gonna hurt, that's gonna have to fuel you to be like, nah, I can't do that. I can't lose all my money. I can't lose all my relationships. I can't lose this business. And that will help you pivot first or move faster. Then the next part was, how did I stay on time and how did I know what I was gonna talk about? A whole lot of practice. People do a whole lot of talking and talking about nothing, okay? I'm like, you just said a whole lot of nothing. Have you ever just heard somebody talk for a long time and you're like, but you're not saying nothing. You're just using a lot of words, right? And so for me, I never wanted to be that person. And the first thing I did was I mastered my 2-minute spiel. Like, you got 2 minutes to captivate somebody and let them know who you are, what you do, and if they want to stay interested in you. And what I also realized is I don't need to talk to everybody and I don't want everybody's phone number. So I'm letting y'all know, if you ask me for my phone number, can we stay in contact? Can we do coffee? No. I'm just being honest. You want to know why? I don't waste time. Everybody like, oh, let's go to lunch. For what? I don't need free food. Oh, let's stay in contact. For what? What are we staying in contact for? Are you going to make me richer, smarter, or closer to God? Which one? Pick something. Like, I don't have time to stay in contact. So that 2 minutes comes down to, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? And I'll give you my story, my 2 minutes to Oprah. I was in a room with a bunch of people. I'm not bragging. I won't say who the famous people were. And we were sitting there, and we were there. And all of a sudden, everybody ran in the room and was like, oh, my gosh, Oprah Winfrey is at the end of the hallway, right? So I just had knee surgery. I done took off all the hardware on my knee. So now I'm sitting there, I'm strapping up. I'm like, let me hurry up. I'm gonna miss Oprah, right? And right when I stood up, I sat back down. What the hell am I about to ask Oprah? No, I'm being honest. I'm so serious right now. I know I wanna do business with that lady. I know at some point, God is gonna cross our paths. But if I waste this 2 minutes, all I am is the person that got a picture with Oprah. So I don't want to meet Oprah Winfrey. I'm not strapping up and running down the hall. And it was funny because all my friends ran back to the table. I got a picture with Oprah Winfrey. And I was like, but now what? What's next? What are we going to do? Some of y'all running to meet the president. What are you going to ask him? What tender do you want? What contract are you looking for? Are you going there just to say, oh, I met the president? So you have to know within that 2 minutes, within that spiel, be very intentional, very direct, and practice. I've practiced so much. If someone says 5 minutes, I can give you 5 minutes. If you say 2 minutes, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Don't be the person that talks too much. Don't act like you never had a microphone in your hand. Some people get the microphone, you can tell their wives don't listen to them, their husbands don't listen to them. They just be talking. They just want somebody to listen. And it's like, we don't want to listen to you. So make sure you practice those moments.
Woo. I don't want to add on to that because I'll ruin everything. And you're still around, yes, till the end. So I'm going to allow her to take a seat so that we move forward with our program. But she's still.
And I want to say something because I didn't know this was the end. I want to bring up one of my amazing friends. I can't even pronounce her last name. Michelle. Come here, Michelle. What's your last name? Come here, friend. I need you to say your last name. What's your last name?
Mukoronji.
Michelle Mukoronji, okay? So I just want to say this. I want to honor my friend, right? Because sometimes when we talk about pivot, I met Michelle probably in about 2016, 17. She was working for one of the biggest, second largest mining companies in South Africa, right? But what she did, what most people don't recognize is, and I say this a lot when I'm on a stage, that sometimes you have to serve your way into the position that you want to be in. And so Michelle was working and she was over all the projects, right? I'm gonna tell your business. But we had to be together for 30 days, right? Michelle came to my room every morning. She ironed my clothes. I used to give Michelle my proposals and make her read the proposals and be like, just highlight the good stuff, right? Before we went into the meetings. But I need to shift and transform because Michelle went on to be a biochemical engineer. Don't let me mess this up. Say it.
Okay, so.
No, what is it that you are?
I'm a chemical and process systems engineer,
okay,
and
so now
I've got a master's in
I was getting there. See? You just did what the people said. I just asked one question. You about to tell them all this stuff. So she did that. She got that degree. Then she went on and got a master's in AI. I'm saying all that to say, because now when we're together, I always see little Michelle, and she like to remind me, girl, I'm big Michelle. She's like, I'm not your personal assistant, but I want to thank her because the reason why we're so close and we went on to make a lot of money together globally is because she came into my life in a service capacity. And so I always want to honor you publicly and tell you thank you, that I know you got all them degrees, and I know you're very smart, and I know you make a lot of money, but thank you for holding the phone and taking videos for me. Thank you, girl.
Thank you. Well done, Michelle. All right. Now, I'm going to allow everyone to take, this is now our networking break. Oh, sorry, before I mention that, our very own Simba Chinyemba, our previous conversation leader, just purchased 5 books.
Hey, I like
5 books. Here he is. And they're up for grabs. They're up for grabs today. Later, yeah, maybe you can come and pitch to me as to why you think you deserve the book. And I'm just joking, everyone. So for now, let's all take a break. Please fill up your drinks, meet somebody new, circulate your business cards, order some food, and we will meet back in 10 minutes. And please, 10 minutes, let's let 10 minutes be 10 minutes. cocktail or drink now? We have one more conversation leader. You can put on my table. And trust me, you want to listen to her. You want to hear what she has to say. My teacher from Bulawayo would say, settle down, settle down, settle down. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. The last two speakers have been great. And please allow me to introduce our second conversation leader, Miss Thembi Khumalo. Thembi Khumalo is a business leader, learning strategist, and storyteller. She is the co-founder of Lubuto, a bold new learning and development venture created through a partnership between Providence Human Capital and Brand Builder Africa. She is also the founder of Brand Builder Africa, a Pan-African strategy firm providing brand strategy, capacity building, and storytelling services. Thembi has worked extensively with corporates, nonprofits, and development agencies and public health institutions across Southern Africa, helping them build the skills, systems, and narratives needed to deliver meaningful and lasting impact. She is an accredited Zim host, trainer, and certified life coach. Thembi's interest in nation branding and national transformation has seen her contribute to several initiatives of national significance, working with organizations such as Solidarity Trust Zimbabwe, GIZ, and the World Bank Group. She contributes to nation building through governance and policy influence, serving on boards of Transmedia Corporation and Mutapa Investment Fund. A creative entrepreneur, Thembi is a published author who's working on her second book and has recently completed her first screenplay. Please help me welcome Thembi Khumalo.
Thanks, Leanne. Salibonan. This never ceases to amaze me. It's really simple. Salibonan, yebo. Linjani, siyaphila. Salibonan. Linjani. Siyaphila. Igama lami nguThembi lihle. Sweet wishes, beautiful hope, delightful fantasies. My name is really about hope and faith in good things. And that's what I carry with me everywhere I go. So in spite of everything Leanne told you, all I really am is a storyteller. And I love to tell stories. So I'm gonna tell you a story. Is there anyone in this room called Lerato? Great. Yes? No? No. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a story about a girl called Lerato. Lerato is just like you guys, except she went to Harvard. She came back home. She worked across Africa. You know those CVs that are like Simba Chinyamba's CV? They've got all the right brands in them. She worked for Dangote. She worked for Coca-Cola Central Africa. She was a leader at MTN. She was right-hand man to certain really important people on the continent. And there was not a door that would not open for Lerato. She joined a very trendy but credible church. She lived in the right neighborhood. She drove a car like Simba's. Okay, so you're getting the picture, right? Yeah. Of who Lerato was. So Lerato did the things, she made the moves, she was powerful and important and glamorous and gorgeous, by the way. And then Lerato decided that she was going to strike out on her own, as one does at a certain point, right? So Lerato was going to build her own business. She took some time off work, went on holiday, went on a retreat, got her mind right, did her business plan. And then she came back after a month and she started, working. Got herself some nice offices, good furniture. She was friends with Zam, and they helped her with being in the right places and meeting the right people, kind of like you guys, actually. And then Lerato started making calls, looking for business, because that's what you have to do when you're in business. Like, after you've got the great logo and the solid business plan, you need to start calling people, as my brother Calvin was telling us earlier. Then Lerato would call people, and they'd say, Lerato from where? So, manje, Lerato is no longer Lerato from Dangote Cement. She's no longer Lerato from MTN. She's not Lerato from Coca-Cola Central Africa. She's now too old to be saying I'm Lerato who went to Harvard. So, what happens now? Any ideas? It's late for Lerato. But it's not late for you. The time to build your brand is before you actually need it. Because your brand is your power. But real power is personal power. It is the power that you have when you are no longer leaning on the structures that supported you or your career. It is the power that you have when you make a phone call and they say, who should I say it is? And you say Thembi Khumalo. And they say, I'll put you through. And no one is asking Thembi from where. So you need to be building your personal power. Even if you don't intend to go into business, even if you don't intend to work for yourself, even if you are determined to make it in corporate, which is a good thing. Okay, this is my last reference to Simba. It's not a bad thing. Corporate can open so many doors for you. So if you are currently in a job and all your friends are out there like Leanne, building businesses and looking hot while doing it and making waves and looking like it's all magical. And you're working a 9 to 5 and you've got a boss and you feel like a slave sometimes, it's okay. Because there are things that corporate can give you that you cannot get working for yourself. There are doors that can open when you are somebody's employee that will not open when you are now Thembi from where. So whatever choices you're making, don't let anybody make you feel bad because of the choice that you're making. But all you have to do is be clear about why you are where you are and what your goal is for the place that you are in. That kind of clarity, guys, does not come when you are always consuming. It comes from contributing. the amount of time you spend consuming other people's content is disturbing. And I'm not even saying stop consuming other people's content and create your own content. No. I'm saying stop consuming other people's content and start thinking for yourself. Start making real choices as opposed to being carried along with whatever trend is currently happening. Because every choice that you make either adds to or subtracts from your brand equity. Every choice. Your hair, your clothes, your car, your school that you send your children to, the neighborhood you live in, the way you talk, the way you walk, every choice you make is either adding to or subtracting from your brand equity. So for you to know whether this choice is, if I cut my hair, is that going to add to or subtract from? How do you know? Should I straighten my hair? Should I keep it natural? Will it add to? Will it subtract from? Should I date Amanda or Susan? Which one will add to? Which one will subtract from? All of those choices are either adding or subtracting. But how you know whether it's adding or subtracting is because you have clarity about the end game. Because many of the choices that we're faced with seem really neutral, right? Cutting my hair. It's a neutral choice. It's neither good nor bad. But for me to know whether it will add or subtract, I need to know where I'm heading and what it means in relation to where I'm heading. Someone offers you a seat on a board. Should you accept or decline? Yes, guys, you're allowed to decline when somebody offers you a seat on a board, if it's not aligned with where you want to go. Somebody offers you an interview in a magazine or a newspaper or a popular blog, accept or decline. You won't know if you don't know your end from your beginning. And you won't know what your end is if you are not taking time deliberately to give yourself clarity. We're here talking about value. The value of a brand comes from the stories that are told about it. So when investors are deciding whether to invest in Zimbabwe, that decision is driven by story. And when we say story, we're not talking about rumors. We're talking about financials. We're talking about press reports. We're talking about the work that organizations like Zida are doing. Those are the stories that are being told about Zimbabwe. The reports that come from NGOs like News, those are the stories. And those stories will attract or repel the people who come. And it's the same for you as a personal brand. It's the stories. And again, when we say story, we're not talking about rumors. We're talking about credibility. Credibility comes from both visibility and believability. And when I'm listening to clients, personal branding clients come with problems, it feels like they fall into two camps. They're the ones that put so much emphasis on believability. They can't stop doing courses. They can't stop getting degrees. They can't stop getting certifications. They really, 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 really want people to believe that they can do the things. And then there's the others that are so focused on visibility, and they're good at it. They're showing up, they're on the gram, their CVs are tickety-boo. You can't even detect the AI. But where is the evidence? So you can't afford to be either or. You need both visibility and believability in order for you to achieve credibility. You can't afford to have evidence that's wobbly if you have places to go. And I want to believe that you are here because you have places to go, right? Mm-hmm. One trend I've noticed lately is the reading. Okay, there's the running clubs, which are very cute because, running is healthy. It's a good way to meet one another. Let's keep running. How? I'm serious though. It's a much healthier way to meet each other than other things I can think of. So I am publicly endorsing running clubs. Then there's the book clubs and the reading lists and the how many books did you read in January? In January alone, I have read these 12 books. Aibo. Even if you have, it's not about the body count. Sorry, the word count. Genuine mistake. It's not a word count competition. Because, and listen to me very carefully, because I'm an author. You need to give the book that you have read time to do its work in your life. My book can be read in one sitting, maybe 2 hours, mapeza. And then you're on to the next book. And then the next one. And then, what are you doing? Why are you even reading these books? The job of that book is to do its work. It's got a job to do in your life. That's why it's there. So don't read my book and just be like, thanks, let's tick that box. Now I'm gonna read the next author's book. We don't, that is not the point. And I think the culture is pressuring us to do the lists, How many places have you visited? How many books have you read? How many, no. Mm-mm. Let that holiday do its work in your life. How will you be refreshed by a trip to Vumba if you are there to tick a box and move on to the next trip? We have to stop chasing these vanity metrics and build our stories into real stories. Not stories that are created for other people to consume, but stories that we create for ourselves to experience. Because have you ever been in something? Testify. I was once in a church, and this church was my whole life. And I was serving, I was in the ladies' ministry, I was preaching, my kids were in the baby church, it was cell groups and women's groups and church on Sunday. And when I left, and I would talk to other people, and they'd never even heard of my pastor, I was like, whoa, there's a whole other world, right? There's a whole world out there that doesn't know that tete that's harassing you, that you think is so big, that your whole life is suspended because you're so scared of this person, whether it's a pastor or a in-law or a husband or whatever. When you step back from that, yibumnyama obungelampisi azikolo. There's nothing there. It's just a story. So what you may not realize is that the most important story in your life is the story you tell yourself about yourself. The story you tell yourself about yourself influences every other story that will ever be told by you, about you, and to you. Make sure that the story you are telling to yourself about yourself is a true story, a good story. And you don't have to have had a perfect background for your story to be a good story. You only have to have made a choice that your story is going to be good and that your story is going to have a happy ending. If you are faking it, there will be cognitive dissonance. Yes. Thank you, Calvin. There will be a misalignment between what people experience of you. And by the way, that's all a brand is. A brand is other people's experience of a product or a person. So if you're faking your story, there will be a misalignment between what people experience and what you are telling them you are. Ashibude. Shinongo benda. That issue is worrying me because it's not about scaring each other. What I want you to be is encouraged. Because we've all come from somewhere. We all have pieces that we're not proud of. But how are you curating the story of your life so that it's making sense for where you want to go? How are you making choices that add to and don't subtract from the brand equity that you want to build? I implore you, put away your phone and fix your story.
Okay.
Fix your life. Take your life more seriously. You're a real human being. If you've got kids, there are actual human beings that are dependent on you being a real person. And stop with the stuff that doesn't matter. You won't even know what matters if you're always scrolling and you're always consuming and you're always being fed by other people's ideas. How's about develop an idea of your own, about your own self? You're the most important person in the world in your life. The most important person in the world. You are the main character on the stage of your life. Everyone else is going to come in, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, hair chorus, backing vocalist. You are the main actor. And you only have this one play. Get off your phone and fix your story.
Wow. Where's my husband? I'm sure you'll be so happy to hear this because I'm always scrolling and he's like, yeah, she's talking about you wherever he is, like, yeah, she's talking about you. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Please sign me up. Please sign me up. I want, the brand strategy for my business. Okay. Yes. And I'm putting away my phone in front of all of you. Please, if anyone sees me scrolling, tell Thembi. Thank you so much for that. Hold on. If you've put your hand up before, please just put it down for now. If you've asked a question, let's give others a chance. And once again, hey Zam, are you waving at me? Oh, okay. Once again, our very own Simba. Let's first clap before I tell you what he's done. He says no, but we have 5 copies of Thembi's book up for grabs. It's a good day, right? It's a good day to read books.
Okay, what do we have to do for the book? I need a book.
Okay. And you win the book. So firstly, guys, unfortunately, Ambassador's books, her physical books right now have run out. Thank you so much for your support. All of you here, thank you for buying her books. They've run out, the physical copies. She will, please let us know if you want us to give you a website and where to access her books from. And then Thembi here also brought her books. On her book, she didn't speak about it, but it's Words and Other Weapons. Words and Other Weapons. And we have 5 copies to give away. Right? And so much more giveaways. Everybody's gonna walk out with somewhere. The book is $20 if you want to buy one, and we have some copies available here, and we have more somewhere stored, right? Okay, so before we get into all the giveaways, the fantastic giveaways, let's ask some questions. Let's give some opinions. Let's contribute. And Zam, yes, Zam will open up for us. Zam was our conversation leader for the finale last year. Welcome, Zam.
Salubonani Khumalo. Igama lami ngubongayi. Siyabonga kakhulu. I want to ask a number of questions, which I'm just going to tether and thread, and hopefully they'll form some kind of reasonably intelligent questioning. First of all, I want you to elaborate in a world where we are focused on scrolling and the lovely, fantastic product called Instagram and not so interesting one called TikTok, but there's an obsession on brand, right? And I suppose I grew up in a world where there was a difference between a personal brand and being a brand, right? And I think the modern individual doesn't understand the difference between the two. So I'd like you to expound, expagorate, and go deeply, extensively to help us distinguish the difference between being a brand and having a brand. And secondly, I would like you to share something that I think the most important lesson that you've taught me was the difference between, not kates, in life, is the difference between being right and being justified.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question about brands, because I think it's very confusing for a lot of entrepreneurs especially. So the way that we use social media is different depending on the role that we are taking. If you're using social media as an entrepreneur, you're using it to sell products. Period. Like, that is your goal. Yes, sometimes it's nice to see you with your kids, and sometimes it's nice to see the vision behind the product and the ethos behind. But ultimately, what you want to be doing on social media is pushing your business and selling products. If you're using social media as an executive, then your primary goal is to make yourself more employable, more promotable. So you're sharing stuff that demonstrates your competence, your thought leadership, your ability to work with the team, your ability to lead. Yes, sometimes we want a glimpse of your personality. We want to know that you're not a cardboard cutout. But primarily, you're there to demonstrate your competence. If you're using social media as an activist, then your goal is to make people believe in the cause that you believe in. If it's feminism, if it's children's rights, if it's climate change, whatever the issues are, that is your primary goal as an activist. If you're using social media as an influencer, your job is to get followers. Because the bigger the audience you have, the more you can monetize it. An entrepreneur and an influencer have different goals for being on social media. If you are an entrepreneur, don't confuse yourself with an influencer and start doing what influencers do. Because part of an influencer's job is to create controversy. Notoriety is one of the biggest pulls for drawing new followers. And when you see people acting out on the internet, it's not a mistake. It's a strategy. Because they can monetize the people that are going to follow those stories. I hope that answers your question. The second part is really to do with interpersonal relationships and how the need to win. You have to decide in your life what is a win, actually. Is a win when I have finally proved that I'm right? Or is a win peace in my home? Both of those are okay. And nobody, part of the hardship of adulting is that nobody can tell you, you know, if there was somebody who could you could go to and they could say, no, this is the right one, this is the wrong one, it would be so much easier to be an adult. But it's not, because only you can decide whether the proof that I was right all along, or the peace that comes with just saying, you know what, let's move on. You get to decide which one of those is most important to you, and you act accordingly. So the conversation that I've had with Sam over the years is, do you want to be right, or do you want to be reconciled? Both of those are good answers. Yes and no are always good answers. Yes and no are both good answers. But only you can decide.
Sorry, Leanne, to take the mic from you. I also have a quick question, which is a follow-up from what you were just mentioning now. Now, my question is about being authentic. Is there, in this conversation of the psychology of value, what is the value of authenticity in regards to the actions or the moments that allow you to move forward? And you just touched upon it now, like what is truth to you, right? But in the bigger realm of life, and you also talked about what is that tete who's got a hold on you? Why do you put so much focus on her? But in the bigger realm of life, is it more advantageous for you to be authentic, even if that means that you are going to possibly fail, or it's not going to go your way? Or should you kind of like step away from authenticity, but move in a way that it's not morally wrong, but it's not authentic to you? How do you sidestep that?
Unfortunately, the answer to that question is only you would know. So, what I can say to you is that we're not as one-dimensional as we think. And two things about me can be true at the same time. I'm very introspective. I would say I'm an introvert. But I can have a good time. Give me a couple of glasses of wine. And we can talk until the sun comes up. Two things, both true. So when you're saying authentic, which authentic do you mean? Right? So I think I like to think about curating. So when I go to work, I'm not leaving behind all of my creativity, and I have a lot. Like I sew, I bake, I cook up a storm. At the moment, I'm restoring an old desk. Those are things that give me pleasure. No one I work with knows that. And you're not gonna tell the folks at the office, right? Like I can spend the whole of Sunday sandpapering a desk, washing it, filling the wood, the gaps in the wood. You'll never see it on Instagram because it ain't none of your business. But it gives me pleasure. And that's how I choose to spend my time. But I can curate. For example, I use all of my social media for work. So even my Instagram, my LinkedIn, it's about building my brand because that's the work that I do. So you won't see my children's birthday parties. It doesn't mean we don't have parties at my house. You will not see when I have a new car or a new house or a new pair of shoes because that's got nothing to do with my brand and the things that I need my audience to know about who I am in order for them to give me business. Because I have clarity about why I am on those platforms. The platforms that I'm on just for pleasure, you will never even know it's me. You won't see my name, you won't see my picture. So when we're talking about authenticity, for me it's about curating the pieces of authentic you that are relevant for the influence you want to have on that particular audience. And the fact that you're leaving other pieces out does not make it inauthentic. It simply makes it curated. So we don't need to put all of our business on all of the platforms.
All right, raise your hand if she's talking about you. It's most of us, right? Okay, I've got questions this side of the room. I'm coming back. Let me from back to front.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony. I want to ask pertaining to the issue of building a brand versus there's a bit of a clash between you want to build my name, but at the same time, what brings people to you contradicts exactly the brand that you're trying to build. To give you context, I'm on Twitter. I have more than 60,000 followers. And there I'm known by a certain identity. I'm Uncle Tony there. So what made me more popular was just giving arguments and, talking about things that do not build anything to do with my brand, right? But I have a brand. So what brings followers is basically saying things that are useless. But at the same time, I also want to have an identity. I'm a CA, by the way. So sometimes when you get to audit a big client and you get there, you're doing your job, and the people will be like, Uncle Tony is here. Do you get it? So I'm trying to ask, how do you balance the two between someone who is outspoken and who does things on privately and they have their own life? But when you meet people there, they're thinking you're always joking and you want to do something serious. Basically, that's the question.
Welcome, Uncle Tony, to Cocktails and Conversation.
What's your real name, Uncle Tony? Your real name? Anthony. Is that what you go by in your CA life? Okay. What is your... So the questions I would ask if you were my client are, what is your purpose for the Uncle Tony brand? Like, what's the goal? And I'm not asking that in a rude way. Because, for example, entertainment is one of the biggest industries in the world. And if you have a brand that's out there to entertain, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And you should run with it and build it and do more controversial things and say Shinjisna Basa, as long as the more people that like Shinjisna Basa, the further you go. But you must know what you're doing there. It can't just be anecdotal or accidental or ngati take a strategy, babo. Tivake chinchine. Even kana zvaurikutaura zvisina musoro, chinhu chacho ngachive nemusoro. And then show up as Anthony where you're showing up. Nobody needs to know that you're the same person. Do they? Like, what is the value? What's the value of them knowing that you are Uncle Tony? I think ipapo ndopa munorasika. Because the attention is so addictive. The attention you get from being Uncle Tony, that persona is now seeping into places where it doesn't belong and isn't delivering any value.
All right, so this side is on fire. Say ngilombuzo. Say ngilombuzo.
Yebo. Yebo, yeah. Thembi, what advice would you give to women who are trying to build their personal brands when there's a fine line between building your brand and coming out as being maybe a bit sexual?
Did you get that?
What's that? What's that? Come again?
She got it. She got it. You got it. I know you got it. You're sexual.
You know, the first question that came up about as a woman this and what was that? Was it you again? Listen, let's have a chat after this, auntie. Because I think, madam, so, first of all, I don't go up. I don't show up in the world saying I'm a woman. When I apply for a job, I'm not applying as a woman. I'm applying as a person and a professional. So I don't, this whole conversation about as a woman this and as a woman that, like, what is it? Why is it a thing that I'm a woman? And I think when you, as the woman concerned, internalize the issue, you magnify your womanness into some kind of weakness, which it is not. I have never sat and thought, oh, I didn't get that promotion because I'm a woman. Or I didn't, I lost that client because I'm a woman. It has never occurred to me, honestly. When I lose a client, I think, oh shit, what did I do wrong? Where is our team missing it? Where should we fix this? What are the issues? That's what I think. Like, why are we, like, what? Yeah. So, not to be completely obtuse, this is the bookmark that we made for today's event, right? It goes inside the book. If you see the banner outside, it's got a picture of me on it. So when we were making the bookmark, we were debating whether the picture of me should be on the bookmark. And I said, all of these people are going to be going home with a picture of me. I don't know how I feel about that. In fact, let me give you an even better story. When my kids started using smartphones and they had WhatsApp, and they were all putting profile pictures, and they would go to a party, or it's a pool party, or it's a picture yake are in swimming costume. And I said, you know, the little boys in your class are looking at your profile picture with you in your swimming costume and masturbating. Because why wouldn't they? So understand what you're doing when you're doing what you do, and the opportunities that you are creating for somebody who maybe is not your target audience and is not giving you the value that you are hoping to get. Hence, we did not put the picture on the bookmark.
Thank you. I think I've got one more question from this side, and I'll be. Oh God. I'm going to avoid eye contact moving forward.
Hi, Miss Thembi. My name is Majora Fadzo. Thank you for the beautiful speech. You spoke a lot. Sorry? Oh, yes, conversation. You spoke a lot on the brand. So that's where my question is. Most of us here are still building their brands. And a brand is mostly a perception of other people towards what you're presenting to them. And we don't have no control over what other people think, right? Because we can have some people that encounter our brand that are not aligned to our vision as an organization. So my question is, how do we protect our brand from people that are not aligned to our vision? And secondly, when those people come down to trash our brand, what do we do? Do we stand up and fight for our brand? If so, how do we do it gracefully? So these are some of the things that we're facing, and I would be glad if you could help us with that. Thank you.
Wow, practical question.
When you say that we have no control over what people think about us, you are vastly underestimating your power. You have so much control over what people think about you because of how you show up. I cannot show up as I am and then say, nobody thinks I'd be a good pole dancer. And I don't understand why. Because I'm not showing up as a very good pole dancer. Like, we're constantly, as I said, making choices. When I say add to or subtract from your brand equity, I'm saying add to and subtract from your reputation. Will people misunderstand you? For sure. Will there be mistakes, controversies, inadvertent communication that goes out? Yes. But when I get this question, how can I recover from negative publicity about my brand? My answer is always, you get out ahead of it. You do it proactively. Because if you put out enough information about who you are, The day somebody says, she's something else, the volume of evidence available to say you are this person will quickly silence that. But if there's nothing in the world about you, and then somebody says, oh, she's trash, well, we don't know. Is she or isn't she? That's the visibility part. So you have to balance the amount of visibility so that it is your backup for bad publicity. And I like to say, if they haven't written a bad story about you in the paper yet, you haven't made it. If no one has ever trashed you on Instagram, you have not yet made it. Because when you make it, you attract those kind of things. But there must be something there that says, but if there's nothing there, then you really have a problem. And even the best brand strategist is going to struggle to help you.
Wow. I'm going to take one more. Guys, okay. Because you haven't said anything and I want to hear from you. Thank you.
She's fighting for my rights. Thank you. No, great friend. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I'm very interested in your personal journey around your brand. Because there's three things there: speaker, strategist, storyteller. Of those three things, how did you come to selecting those three specific things? And what's your journey in making those decisions? Because that will also help us with those insights. Thank you.
Thanks for that question. It's lives are seasonal, right? So there was a season when those three words were African woman leader. And that was primarily the work that I was doing. And sometimes when I was building my business, for example, it was brand builder, storyteller, blah, 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 business leader. So it's a seasonal choice, depending on the goal that I want to achieve in that season. So right now I am working with corporates in a much less brand building role than I was before. So the strategist part is important because I'm doing brand strategy and I'm also doing learning strategy. So I wanted to keep it ambiguous. Storyteller is really who I really am. Like, I'm always going to be a storyteller. But sometimes it's not expedient curating. It's not always expedient to lead with that. But because of the season I am in my career, I can afford to take a little bit more risk. In fact, let me tell you a story about, Upenyo might know this story. There's a time I was CEO of an NGO. And I had some younger people working on my team, and they were new. And the people so they were managers. The people they were managing were older people who'd been in the organization for a long time. Actually, they were nurses. And they were very, I don't know if you've worked in healthcare, they're very particular and very possessive about their positions. And they want a certain amount of honor, right? And these young people came in, brilliant people, qualified, exceptional at their jobs, but they just couldn't get the people that they were leading to come on board. And because it was a non-profit, there's no dress code. Like, you can come to work in your not your pajamas, but you know, you can really come to work in your tracksuit pants and your slops, and as long as you're doing your work, it's fine. But nurses in their 50s and 60s in Zimbabwe were trained that professionalism means you put on your uniform and your stockings and your sensible shoes. And that's how they showed up. So when these young people were coming to work in Crocs, thank you, and tracksuits and lazy pants, the nurses just couldn't take them seriously. And I was explaining that as far as they're concerned, you haven't earned the right to lead them. And the way you're showing up is actually underscoring that. It's supporting evidence that you don't have the right to lead them. As the CEO, I can show up in tracksuit pants and slops and command respect because I have a long track record that says I have the right to lead you. But they didn't have that. They didn't have the long track record and the experience and the presence to lead in slops and tracksuit pants. So sometimes you have to also curate yourself according to the season that you are in. If I'm new in an industry, I do like the people do. I dress like the people dress and I talk like the people talk. Until they realize that, oh, actually, this one is not like us. And then I can lead them. And that's my strategy. Other people have other strategies. I find that that one works for me. So I'm very intentional about my seasons and what I'm trying to achieve in any given season.
Thank you. That was a perfect wrap up. Can we agree? Please help me honor Thembi Khumalo, Uma Khumalo. We thank you. Please come back. I want to ask you to help me give away a few things. Like I said, we have so many giveaways. So exciting. Okay, so when you walked in, we asked you to drop your business card in here. Did everyone drop their business card in here? Yes, thank you. So the previous conversation leader was the MD of Old Mutual, who was here. Yes, who was here? You were here? Yeah, some of you were here, yes. So she sent us, Gloria has sent us some gifts. Oh, that was me. Oh no, hi, sorry. You get it. Please just plug it back. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Thank you. She sent us 2 gifts. So now we want to pick 2 business cards. One of them we want to give away your book. One of them we want to give away a gift from Gloria at Old Mutual Insurance. So when she picks your card, you can come here, say what you do in 30 seconds, please. Remember, we're taught how to do a pitch deck and it must be below a minute. Yes.
Simon Nyamuda. Simon Nyamuda. You don't look like a Simon, but anyway.
Okay. You're representing? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pamela, standing in as Simon today. I'm from CompuLink Systems, an ICT solutions company, and we offer IT solutions from cybersecurity, software, hardware, anything you can think of IT related, we offer you that.
Thank you. And Simon was one of our previous conversation leaders. Please do make sure he gets that. Thank you so much.
Tatenda. Jakarasi.
Mr. Munch, is it so here? He was right here. Has he left? Mr. Munch has left, I think. So let's move on. Yeah, Sipo Apo, she said. I was gonna get it for him, you know.
Watsanai Kawadza.
Go.
What am I supposed to do, by the way?
Say what you do in less than 30 seconds.
Okay, evening everyone. I am surprised to be winning this, but I'm very excited. As she said, my name is Wadzanai Kawadza. I'm the Business Development Executive for Oro Group Starlink. So, yeah, that's who I'm representing tonight. If you want connectivity solutions for your corporate, I'm here for you. Thank you.
I won't give you guys a chance to ask questions because I know you guys. You heard Starlink and I know you have questions. We have 4 more books. So, yes, and 1 more gift. So, how would you like us to give away these 2?
I think this is a good way.
It's a good way, right? Yes?
Oh, there's the Instagram.
There's a gift, yes. It's coming. Okay. Yes.
Because they have to check if you followed me. Cynthia Marisa Muka.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cynthia Marisa Muka. I'm the marketing executive of Mutual Insurance. I was here last month with my boss, Gloria. Yeah, but I thought this is a very good place to network. That's why I'll be coming here every month I'll be coming here.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Enjoy the read. Oh, someone is waving, saying she deserves a book. And I think we should give away to a few
buy one.
People that asked a question.
Feel free to buy one.
All right, so can we, okay? Next time you'll bring your business cards. You know Ruwimbo from Vibes Creation prints out designs, marketing, everything. You can get your business cards printed by Ruwimbo. So next time you're ready.
Leo Joao.
Leo Joao.
Oh. Am I allowed to comment on people's business cards? Yes. From a branding point of view? This business card has a lot of information.
Okay.
All right, hi everyone. So I'm going to be standing in for Leo. He just left, he has a meeting. So Leo Joao is from Trust We International. It's a transport and logistics company. They do logistics and procurement. So if you need anything from China brought into Zimbabwe or South Africa, Zambia, or Namibia now, you can contact him. Their offices are in town at Michael House, 9th floor. Thank you.
Okay, I'll release you now, but please stay till the end because I know there's more people with questions that didn't get to ask you. All right, remember? Okay. I'm going to ask our first conversation leader, Calvin Majora, please come up. Please help me give away more things. So let's go for the wine. Okay, so we had a theme today and we had a topic. Yes, so what is our global theme for this year? Anyone who knows our global theme, please don't look. Anyone who knows our global... Guys, there, she wants to try, okay?
I think I know. I hope I know. It's understanding the psychologically of your value. I think there were 3 pillars, if I'm not mistaken: your business, your vision, your brand. understanding your psychology of today's topic.
For the year.
Oh, the year.
She deserves something.
She deserves something.
Calvin says she
I think the theme of this year was don't just survive, thrive.
Thank you. So, oh yes, yeah, she did introduce herself. We have one more bottle to give away. I forgot to mention the 2 bottles of wine we're giving away are courtesy of Denga by Upstate. Please help me thank Denga by Upstate. They've been great to us. They give us this amazing venue, and the food, the drinks, the service delivery has been great. Okay, so once again, what was the topic for today? So can you say it again?
Understanding the psychology of your value, and then there were 3 pillars, which is your vision, your brand, your business. There we go. Yes, there we go. Thank you. My name is Kazai. I'm a project manager, and I also have my own business called Amaku Consultancy.
Okay, so we have 2 more books and 3 more giveaways. Anyone in this room that is under 20? If you're under 16, you're not supposed to be here, but anyone under 20? No? Anyone under 25? Under 25 with Prue? Hi, Prue. Sagatine kids late, pana. Anyway, so how many of you? How old are you? 24? Who else? Prue, how old are you? Yes? 22. Did you say 22 as well? Which month? Which month? And you? Which day? 9? Which day? So Prue gets the book. Yes, we do.
Under 30.
Prue, you can come up and you can get your book, words, and other weapons. Please don't forget to follow Thembi Khumalo on her Instagram and all her social media pages. Please review her book. We want to know somebody younger. We want someone younger reviewing this book, okay? Will you? So you can tell us what you do.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Prudence, popularly known as Prue. So I am studying marketing, and currently I'm doing my internship at Zamaka.
Well done. There you go. All the best with your studies. Okay. All right, I'd like to call on Ruvimbo and TC to join me. We have 2 last giveaways, and TC can give us our vote of thanks. Once again, please remember we have these. Guys, thank you. I guess this one opportunity once a month, otherwise I'm busy treating people. Okay, let me thrive. So remember, we have this every last Tuesday of every month. Please follow our social media pages. Cultured Republik. Please, TC and Lume, please join me as we give away our last 2 gifts. And TC will just wrap up with the vote of thanks. To our regulars, thank you for always supporting us. To the new people, thank you for joining in the community. Let's support each other. Let's move forward together. We are thriving in 2026. Remember.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to this edition of Cocktails and Conversations. And one of our founding principles is we are because you are Ubuntu. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to continue connecting, collaborating, and this Cultured Republik movement. So I just want to thank our conversation leaders today. Thank you, Mr. Calvin Majora. Thank you so much, Thembi Khumalo, and thank you, Dr. Chanita Foster, for joining us and making the time to be with us and imparting on us. And I just want to give this book to Caroline. She really wanted this, and she's been one of our regulars and supporters. So please, Caroline, please come and get this. Thank you, thank you. Say something about you.
I did. I am so honored. Actually, I thought I deserved a book because you asked me for a picture before I even knew who you were, and I was so humbled. But thank you so much. I love being here. I find this place very educative, informative, and a cool place to hang. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. And also, this last one, and we want to thank Old Mutual and the team, Old Mutual Insurance, for a gift. We also want to give it to a dedicated regular. So, Letabo, please come and grab. And thank you for supporting us.
Always. Hi, my name is Letabo, and I'm the fixer. Thank you.
And last but not least, we want to thank Lighting Hub. They have joined on and partnered with us, and they have sponsored two gifts, the tokens of appreciation to all our incoming and future conversation leaders. And we just want to thank Lighting Hub. Please look them up. They do accessories and lighting. And we just want to say thank you for your support. And once again, thank you to our conversation leaders. And this will be our token of appreciation. Thank you. And I'm going to hand over to TC for the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna wrap it up very quickly. At the end of every cocktails and conversations, we like to do just a quick recap. And the recap is just, do you guys remember what our brilliant and awesome conversation leaders were actually talking about? And usually it's just 3 points. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I know there's a lot of people who want to network and want to have a little drink. I'm not going to take too much of your time. We're going to start with Calvin. Calvin said, what gives someone value? What is different about you? You need to ask yourself, why aren't you knocking on the doors, talking to that minister, talking to whoever it is that can help you to become or to get where you want to go? The reason is you fear rejection. Ask 14 times, Calvin said. Some of you are only asking 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 times. No, ask 14 times. You need to have that consistency. Perfect your 3-minute pitch and understand it may result in a ringing phone without someone answering that phone. The mobile subscriber you have dialed is not reachable. But you heard the phone ringing, it means they cut the phone on you. Call again. That's what Calvin taught us. Once you do get through that door, make sure you have something of value to give. Calvin, we learned a lot from you. Thank you for being one of our conversational leaders. We appreciate you. Thembi had a lot to say. Man, I could go for a long, long time, but I'm gonna try to keep it very, very succinct. Do you know your end from your beginning? Take deliberate time to give yourself clarity. It's one thing we learned from Thembi. The value of brand comes from the stories that are told about it. You are a brand. What is your story? So if your story is your brand, your story is your value. We learned about that it's not about the body count. It's not about the body count. Pardon me. What she meant to say, to clarify, it's not about the number of books you read. It's not about the number of trips you take. It's not about those metrics. It's about what was the purpose of why you were doing it. Don't read 5, 10 books if you don't understand what that book is talking about. What is it really gonna mean for my life? You'd rather read 1 or 2 books if they're gonna change your life. Take point. Take stock of that. The most important story is the story that you're gonna tell about yourself. Ensure that your story is good. Now that's the topic of today. That's the psychology of value. Fix your story and be serious. You are the best main actor in the story of your life. Thank you very much, team. We learned a lot today. And as Rimbo had highlighted before, we want to thank everyone who has been part of this program, Cocktails and Conversation. We want to thank the team here at Denga. I want to thank the team, Cultured Republik. We want to thank Zam. Zam, thank you very much for everything that you're doing and supporting and sharing in our vision. We look forward to seeing you guys. Remember, it's the last Tuesday of every month. Please join us in March. It's Women's Month. And join our page. We'll be sharing what we're going to be doing. Thank you very much.
So now, yeah, open the floor. Hey, good job.
I can't walk. I can't walk.